It's that time again. You've got a new class, you've got tons of new students, and you have to learn all of those names, and it's particularly tough if you have a very, very large classroom. So in this video, we're going to be looking at how to remember student names in your classes, particularly with very, very large classes. So let's get going. So you've got a new class, you come in, all those faces looking at you, they're all a bit nervous, they've got a new teacher, you're nervous, you're looking back, but you're putting on a brave face, and you've got to learn all of these names. Learning names for a teacher is one of the toughest things that we have to do, but it's something that, we just have to face and just get on with. But it can be particularly difficult if you've got a large class. I worked in China for many, many years. Most of my teaching career has been in China. And the first time that I ever taught a very large class was 2003. And I was a young teacher, and I've jumped into a taxi and gone out to this off-site school. It's a primary school. And I've gone in there, I've opened the door, and I've just got a sea of faces. Literally, it's like 70 students. And I had to try to learn all of their names. No easy task, as you could well imagine. I did it eventually, but it was very difficult, and I didn't do it straight away. And importantly, I didn't use some of the tips I'm about to give you. Basically, I've got 6 ideas. In China, it means 6. So I've got 6 ideas for you to learn all of these names. It's tough, especially if you've got very, very large classes, as I did. After that, I taught at university for about 7 years. Smaller classes, about 35 to 40 students, but I had 11 classes. So all in all, I had to learn 350 to 400 names over the course of a term. As you would agree, that's no kind of small task. So I've been there, and I've got the t-shirt, and I understand how difficult it is to learn student names in large classes, or any class basically. And I've got 6 tips for you to teach you how to learn all of these student names. Tip number 1 is to use very hand-picked, selected warmers and icebreakers, where students are using and saying their name quite often over the course of the 1st, 2nd and 3rd classes, all the way up to like the 5th class. So you're using these icebreaker activities. They might not be related to your class content. Doesn't matter. What we're doing here now is we're breaking the ice. We're making learners comfortable in their learning. They're getting to know you, you're getting to know them, and they're getting to know each other. You don't have to rush in to teach your content in your first few classes. That can come later on in the semester. The first classes I always use just to break that ice, to get everyone comfortable, enjoying their learning, building trust, building connections, building relationships. Then you can build your house on top of that. I always advocate that. First few lessons, you don't need to rush into your material. But when you're choosing your icebreakers, choose ones where students are saying their name. You're listening to their names. You're making a mental note. You're building the connection between faces and names. You start this journey that you're going to be taking over the next kind of 5 to 8 weeks, slowly learning names. You're not going to learn 50 names, 70 names in one class. Forget about it. This is a slow process. But I'm going to come in with all of these tips, but what I will say now, and I'm going to repeat this later on in this video, this takes effort. It's going to take effort for you to learn all these names. You're not going to learn all of these names for free. You need to put in work into doing this. That's the first thing I will say. But yeah, hand pick activities where the students are using their names repeatedly with each other. You're listening, The other students are listening to each other's names, and this is the first step. Number 2 is to make name tents. So basically name tents is a classic. You just basically get a piece of paper, or even better, a nice bit of card, fold it in half and get the student to write their name on the name tent so you can see it. You know, a large classroom, you might be in quite a large area. You're going to need to see down the back. Ask the students to make them write it in really big, nice letters. Okay, if you're teaching young children, you can even make badges as well, and you can make like theme badges, like animals, whatever, literally whatever. I pick animals, all kids like animals, and so you can build them into houses as well. So it's great for classroom management. Talk about classroom management in another video, but you can make name tents and badges. And when you're teaching, keep looking at the name tents, and when you're calling on students, use the names. Actually say the name repeatedly, kind of almost too much. So you need to build this connection in your head, and then the other students are hearing their names as well. In China, where I am, the students generally choose an English name, a special English name, just for English classes. That's not their real name. They've all got Chinese names. So they need to learn each other's names too. So by using the names all of the time, calling on students, using the names, when you're walking around to check on students, use the names all of the time, and this will cement in what their names are. So this is the second tip. Tip number 3, this is my personal favorite. So get everybody, I normally do this in my second or third class when students are kind of getting to know each other's names. They're already comfortable, they already adore you. You're like the most awesome teacher that they have. Get everybody to get their name tents, take them outside, and you can get someone to take your phone, get that person to take a picture of you. Make sure you can see all of the students' faces, and importantly, you can see all of their name tents. Make sure they're not, hidden behind other students. Make sure you can see all of the name tents and all of the faces. Get the person to take a picture, get them to take a couple of pictures, then take home your phone and on your computer, white out the names on the name tents. And then as an activity in the following class, give out the pictures of the class with blank name tents because you've edited them out, and the students have to write in the names of the class and name tent. And you can do this too as well. So you're looking at the picture, you're looking at the faces, and you need to write in the names. Maybe you can do half of the class. The other half you're not too sure, go around and check. And this will help to establish what the names are. And it's awesome fun bringing together your class. This is, right now TEFL Lemon has a 180-hour higher certificate in TESOL. It's a level 4 qualification. And I'm going to put the link in the description below for the course. You can go to the website and you can check out the course and see what there is to learn. But in unit 16 of that course, it's all about teaching large classes, the best strategies and the best methodologies for teaching large classes. And all of the stuff that I'm saying now is in that course, it's in that unit. So by taking the photo, you are really, this is just another little trick, another little tip to build classroom rapport, building community. This is the big thing, building community. And this is one way to remember names and build community. Tip number 4, buy a pack of playing cards. Okay, just a normal like poker, a pack of poker cards, cheap. Just cheap ones. Get your photo that you've taken, print it out big, and then cut out the students from the picture and stick them with glue onto your playing cards. And write their name on the card, or write it back in. Just get the original, cut out the original. It's got their name on already. Stick them onto the playing card. And then you've got a pack of cards per class. So let's say you teach a large class. Let's say you teach many large classes like I was at university, right? I've got like 400 students. Each class has a pack of cards. For 5 minutes before the class, just flick through your cards. You're looking at the students just before your class. You're looking at the students, you're looking at the name. And when your students flood in, you've got these real students that you've just been checking the name, and it will just help to reinforce. We all know the value of flashcards for teaching English as an additional language or teaching English as a foreign language. We know the value of them. Let them be of value to you. Make flashcards of your students with their names. After the class, flick through again for 5 minutes. So this is an extra 10 minutes per day of your time. But by doing so, this will help you to remember names so successfully. It's probably the strongest tip that I can give you. Just keep flicking through these miniature flashcards. Keep them in your drawer. Before the students come in, flick through. If you've only got 2 minutes, you've only got 30 seconds, it's fine. But you're going to be waking up your brain for these names. So it's a great way to do things. Tip number 5. This is a classic. Make a seating plan. Make a really neat seating plan. So you're in your classroom. Make a plan of the desks. Who usually sits where. Write this down. If you're teaching younger students and you've got like houses, like the red team, the yellow team, the green team, the blue team. Just for example, I always had this when I taught young learner classes. You award points to different teams, and it's a fantastic way kids really respond to the motivation that this gives, and it's great for classroom management. So on my seating plan, I'd have like the red zone, the blue zone, the green zone, the yellow zone, all of the desk laid out with the names, and if I forget, I can refer to it. I can refer to my plan. It's so helpful. Tip number 6. Yeah, that's 6 in Chinese. If you're curious, this is 7. This is 8. That's 9, 10. So tip number 6 is to make a mini diary. So have a class diary. Each student has a page for themselves. If you want to, you can stick the face on each page, and you make little language notes. So as you're teaching throughout the term, make a note of any really sweet contribution they made. They read that story really well in this class. Or they had problems using the second conditional. Just write down particular things of particular interest and flick through and just build your diary over the course of the term. This will help to consolidate the names in your heads. And at the end of the course, another thing that teachers have to do, which is a nightmare, is making report cards, right? Oh, what do I say? How do I say this differently? It's kind of the same as this student. Oh, what do I do? But you can look in your book and you've got real examples of things that student has actually produced, the language that they've produced, the problems that they've had throughout the term, real examples that you can put onto their report card. So this kills 2 birds with 1 stone. Number 1, you're consolidating in your own mind the names of your students, and number 2, you can give real feedback at the end of the term to either the students if they're old enough, or to the parents if you have to make report cards for parents. You've got real examples of language that they've produced and problems that they've had and problems that you've helped them to overcome as well. So here are your 6 ones. All right, to recap, number 1, activities, ice-breaking activities where the students are using their names very, very often and you're listening in. Number 2, name tents. Put the name here big so you can see badges on the student's chest. Just clip it on, they've got badges. Number 3, the photo. Take a big group photo, take it home, white out the names and the name tents, come in, and students must work together in pairs as a group. You can make it a game, do it yourself, to write in the names back onto the name tents. Number 4, make miniature flashcards. for all of your classes with a student on each card. Flick through at the beginning and at the end, just building that connection in your head between the face and the name, building the connection, and this will help you to remember the names. Tip number 5, make a seating plan, a really neat seating plan, color code it, whatever you need to do, make it really, really neat, make it something you're proud of, refer to it often, stick it on the wall by your desk, stick it in your drawer just before classes if you've got lots of students, but keep your seating plan. If there's a student down the back, they're talking away, you can, I forgot the name, Stephen. You got them straight away. You don't have to go down, or you don't have to shout or walk all the way down there. You know that name because it's on your seating plan. And number 6, your diary, your mini diary. And these are ways for you to remember student names in your class. And this is great for large classes because you've got so many names. But even if you've only got like 10 or 15 students, you can still use these strategies to help you learn names. Yeah, you're going to learn the names faster, but it still takes quite a long time to make, you know this does, right? To remember 15 names. And sometimes, you put your foot in it and you use the wrong names and it hurts the students. Well, how come you remembered his name, but you didn't remember my name? Students going to remember that for a long time. So these are strategies to help you to remember names as a teacher, to remember names in your classes, from a small class to a medium class to a very, very big class. These are all going to work for you. That's it. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope that's helped you to remember how to remember names in big classes. I haven't been making so many videos this year, and well, the reason is that I've been writing my TEFL course for TEFL Lemon, but it's finished. It's finished. So please do check it out. The link to check out the course is in the description below. The content that I covered in this video was taken from Unit 16 of that course about teaching large classes. It's a fat unit. It's one of the largest in the TEFL Lemon Higher Certificate course. So it's great if you're teaching in public schools with very, very large classes, but there's stuff in that, it's stuff in that class that any teacher can use for any of their classes. So please do check it out. As a subscriber or someone that's watched these TEFL Lemon videos, you can use a discount code, your coupon code, get 20% off the cost of courses. That's permanent as well. And the discount code is BIG20, okay? I'm going to put that in the description as well. So if you go to the website, put in BIG20, you'll get 20% off. You'll see the cost of the course immediately drop 20%, and you can take the TEFL Lemon Higher Certificate. And I really hope that you like it. I've put a lot of the passion and energy that I have for teaching into that course, and you're going to love it very much. So use the BIG20 at checkout to get 20% off the Higher Certificate for TESOL. All right, thank you very much. Take care, and I promise you I will be back sooner rather than later. All right, take care. Bye-bye.